watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on A's Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV, and we're now on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, May 28th. In our top story, a fire over this weekend in Red Rock of Las Vegas burns more than 150 acres of conservation land near Bird Springs. Samantha Roberts has more on this story.
On Sunday, May 26, the fire in the southwest area of Las Vegas was reported 2 miles south of the Late Night Trailhead and Highway 160 in the Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area. According to the Bureau of Land Management, the fire started at 11:40 a.m. and as of 5:15 p.m. on Sunday, the fire had grown to an estimated 150 acres. Officials say the fire was human-caused, though the exact source of ignition remains under investigation. According to firefighters, they expect to have the fire fully contained by 6 p.m. tonight.
And on April 10th, the Pahrump Regional Planning Commission approves the establishment of a California medical waste company here in our community. The company plans to set up operations in a building they've already acquired on Basin Avenue. According to the presenters at the planning committee meeting, some of the processed medical waste is likely to end up in our local landfill. So News 25 is speaking with Sally Kerr, a candidate for Nye County Commissioner District 2, about this development. Kerr, who is running for office, shared her thoughts and concerns regarding the potential impact of this new facility on our community and on our environment.
Okay, I'm here today to talk about the medical waste facility that was proposed and then approved to be brought into Pahrump. I do know that the Regional Planning Commission heard that item on April 10th. It does appear that it was correctly agendized, so it was, available to the public in the proper amount of time, but it certainly wasn't highlighted as something that was going to be coming up before the board. So it went in as any other agenda item would go into the RPC. The RPC had some really good questions about the impact that this medical facility would have. The first part about that was there wasn't a formal presentation, although the applicants did have people at that meeting that were able to explain some things. One of the primary things that they explained was the medical waste being treated in this facility is not biohazard material. So it is material that they say could go into a landfill like ours with no treatment, but this is a state-of-the-art facility that would take it and create 2 different kinds of fuel additives and then this biochar leftover debris that would be be going into our landfill, at least initially. So all of that was pretty well explained during the process of hearing. However, what wasn't explained was the impact that this is going to have on our roads. And we had people sitting on that commission, including John Koenig, asking about the impact on the roads and asking about the impact on our dump and asking about how much of the lifespan of our dump would be taken away by allowing this in town. And nobody got the answers to those questions before they approved the item, which was interesting that they had really legitimate questions and still moved forward, when certainly we see these kind of things continued all the time. And they certainly could have asked these applicants to come back, do a more public presentation about all of that, get some answers from CNS Waste and others about how it might impact our landfill. What are we going to do about the impact on the roads? There would have been things like that. It could have easily been continued long enough to have gotten answers to those questions. Director Wagner, Director of Planning, was very specific when he spoke about the zoning for this particular building, which is the old Pinnacle Propane building off of Basin, being accurately zoned for this kind of commercial use. It's not to say this one in particular, but if you're bringing a commercial use like this into town, that area is properly zoned for that. And the building that Pinnacle Propane was in is the building that, in fact, this company entered into contract for, and then I believe purchased. Even at the time of that hearing, they expressed that they had purchased that building. So after that April 10th date, nothing happens. No one hears anything until over a month later, when some of the public became aware of this item having passed and began to really generate some interest in why it had passed. The timing on that is unfortunate because it happened after the 30-day appeal limit that's available for this. So if the RPC does something, there's a 30-day limit to appeal that to the county commissioners. That had already passed by the time that the public became aware. And so we do know that it's created quite a quandary. We're not exactly sure how to overcome that. I do know that our district attorney, Brian Kunze, is looking into that. There might be some material things that we can say weren't covered in the hearing, so we want reconsideration. And I will say, as the public came to the Board of County Commissioners on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, the chambers were full. It was 2 hours of public comment at that meeting against bringing a medical waste facility in and asking the commissioners to find a way to look at this and to revisit. I think that certainly better education, better presentation to the public, and then allow acceptance or denial based on better and deeper information would be helpful, not to have had 4 people make this decision without accountability to the county commissioners. And I think that this is a really great example. As I've said before, the county commissioners is where the buck ends, and the county commissioners are responsible for what's happening at the advisory committees level and with their staff. And so rightfully so, it should end at the county commissioners. And the public did a very great job of expressing that to the commissioners. The buck stops here. This is your responsibility. And as your commissioner, I would recognize and do recognize that that is where the buck stops. That the commissioners are the ones responsible ultimately for what happens here, and that we need to take the time to listen to the public when they have something to say.
And candidate John Lee stops by KPVM to speak with us about his political campaign. He's running for congressional seat District 4 in Congress.
Hello, my name is John Lee, and I'm running for Congressional District 4 in the United States Congress. This is quite a big area. It's got all of Lincoln County. It's got Mesquite, Overton, Logandale, and Moapa Valley. It has all of North Las Vegas and a small bit of Las Vegas. It has all of Nye County, Esmeralda County, Mineral County, and a portion of Lyon County. I've already spent 25 years of my life serving Nevada. I was a state assemblyman, I was a state senator, and mayor of North Las Vegas. I've dedicated my life to protecting your Second Amendment rights, to cutting red tape so small businesses can thrive, to diversifying our economy, for parental rights, and for school choice. While in Congress, I'll work on the following issues that are important to you: personal freedoms, religious rights, Second Amendment rights. I'll make sure your Social Security and Medicare is safe. I want to stop the immigration issues that we're having at the southern border. I want to make sure we use our natural resources, that we once again become independent from other nations. I want to make sure that we take care of our children, that we have schools that they can learn in. I'm very excited about the opportunity of working on these issues for you in Nevada, but also in your individual locations and counties. I'm John Lee, and I hope you'll vote for me to be your congressman in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
All right, don't grab that remote. News 25 will be right back with much more local, national, and military news. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Nevada serves as the front line for many of the nation's military operations. Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us now with an inside look at Nellis Air Force Base's latest anniversary event.
The 75th U.S. Air Force Weapons School recently hosted its 75th anniversary dinner, where retired U.S. Air Force General John P. Jumper served as a keynote speaker. In his address to Nellis Nation, General Jumper noted his pride at seeing graduates who perform at the highest level of combat, even when times are tough.
Nellis has always been the place where competence and passion is allowed to flourish. Some of the greatest innovations in both technology and tactical discipline, more importantly, tactical discipline, have been pushed by the captains and the majors and supported by the colonels and the generals here at Nellis.
The weapons school is rooted in the aircraft gunnery school established in 1949 at Las Vegas Air Force Base, which evolved into Nellis in 1950.
Too few know and appreciate the tremendous service that these generations of warriors that occupy this room tonight have rendered to the advancement of air and space power and to our nation. I'd like to remind everybody that we're approaching the 250th anniversary of our nation, the greatest nation on earth. And it's appropriate to remind ourselves that our nation, our form of government has never been perfect, but we've always been self-correcting.
Nellis is home to the U.S. Air Force Warfare Center, which is the largest and most demanding advanced air combat training mission worldwide.
One of my post-retirement duties was to be the president and CEO of the Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's another story, fighter pilot in charge of a museum. But I got to hang around with Pulitzer Prize-winning historians and to focus on the 250th anniversary of the nation and the opportunity we have to renew our understanding of what it takes to be a citizen of this nation. I don't have to tell this audience that.
The organization brought together a cadre of World War II combat veterans dedicated to teaching the next generation of fighter pilots.
That oath that we all took to support and defend the Constitution of the United States defines a sacred duty, a grand devotion to something bigger than ourselves. And let me tell you, when you're 79 years old like I am and you're standing looking back on your life, take it from me. The things that mean the most to you are the things that you have done for and with others. It's the things that you've done that's been a part of something bigger than yourself. All of you have checked that square.
Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers with News 25 Las Vegas.
And you should know that Nellis Air Force Base is a major employer in Clark County for both military personnel and civilians. And turning now with a look at sports, here's Mikey Ruhan.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators are back in action this evening at 7:05 against the Sugarland Space Cowboys. The Las Vegas Aviators will host Bark at the Berm at the Las Vegas Ballpark on Wednesday, May 29th. Baseball fans can bring their furry friends and enjoy the game while supporting a good cause. A portion of every ticket sold will go directly to helping the Heaven Can Wait Animal Society. Las Vegas Aces were hotter than the Indiana Fever on Saturday. They won 99-80. Next up for the Aces, they're off to Minnesota to take on the Lynx. Las Vegas Aces announced they waived rookie guard Daisha Fair on Sunday, just one day after she made her WNBA debut. Front Valley Trojan Softball Awards Night is coming up Wednesday, June 5th, inside the cafeteria. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
All right, thanks so much, Mikey. And after this break, we'll take a look at your weather and what's on the horizon for monsoon season. Grab an umbrella, we'll be back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, we here in Southern Nevada know that when it rains, it floods. And monsoon heavy rain season is almost here. So Valley Electric Association is helping to prepare you with these essential storm safety tips.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Monsoon season can bring summer storms. Here's Storm Prep 101. Get organized before a storm strikes. Store an emergency supply kit in an easy-to-find spot. Make sure it includes water, a 3-day supply, 1 gallon per person per day. Tools, a flashlight, batteries, a manual can opener, and hand radio. A first aid kit. Include a week's supply of prescriptions and medications. And don't forget the pantry. Be sure to stock up on non-perishables. Here's a food safety tip. How long will frozen food keep during an outage? A full freezer, about 48 hours. A half full freezer, about 24 hours. If your freezer isn't full, group items close together. And remember, when in doubt, throw it out. Try the quarter test. If a major storm is on the way, use this simple trick to test if items in your freezer are safe to eat after a power outage. Before the storm, place a cup of water in your freezer. When it's frozen, put a quarter on top. Leave it in your freezer. If the quarter is where you left it after the power is restored, your food is safe. If the quarter has fallen, the frozen water has thawed. It's best to toss the food. Here are some generator safety tips. Keep generators away from water. Never use a generator inside. Never connect it to your home's electrical system. Always let the generator cool down before refueling. Install carbon monoxide detectors. Here's a medical equipment reminder. If someone in your home uses life-sustaining equipment powered by electricity, let us know so we can take note on your account. Have a backup power source on hand or make arrangements to move to a temporary location if you lose power. If you have any questions, call Valley Electric at 775-727-5312.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, let's take a look through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at our post-Memorial Day forecast. It is now the unofficial start of summer with warm, beautiful weather. A closer look after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by the Committee to elect Robert E. Thomas for Pahrump Justice of the Peace, Courtroom B. Vote for Constitutional Judge Robert E. Thomas. Visit www.electrt.com for more information.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Roy Rosell here from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and streaming everywhere at KPVM.TV and now Roku. Taking a look at Nevada right now. Up in northern Nevada, Fernley is at 86 degrees, Fallon is at 89, Carson City at 80 degrees, Tonopah at 81 degrees, Goldfield at 82 degrees, Beatty at 91 degrees, Amargosa at 98 degrees, Las Vegas at 96 degrees, and Death Valley is at 109 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, it is currently 94 degrees. The high today just a little while ago was 95 degrees. It was sunny today, wind blowing south-southwest at 13 miles per hour, humidity 7% today. And the sun rose this morning at 5:29 and is going to set at 7:53 p.m. tonight. The humidity continues to go up just a little bit more to 21%. The wind's blowing southeast at 12 miles per hour tonight. And the low tonight is going to be 63 degrees. With clear skies, let's take a look at the rest of the week. It looks like we're going to have a lot of sun throughout the rest of this week and into next week, staying in the mid to high 90s until next week when we hit 101 degrees in the triple digits again. Everybody make sure to bust out that sunscreen and stay hydrated. Back to the desk, here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Rory. It's always great seeing you, and thanks for that lovely forecast. We'll even take the 101 next week. All right, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.